Good morning. I'm Peter Cooper, and you're listening to Morning Jam, the indie music morning minicast that features songs you need to hear. For today's episode, I've got a very chill, but still upbeat as usual for this show, song. And I'm very excited to talk about it. Mayans by Zoobookz. This alternative rock song really just does it for me. Mayans is one of those few songs that I can say is distinctly heavy in the participation of the drums. Drums are usually there to help performers maintain speed, and a lot of the times it's a shame that they sometimes fall a bit to the wayside because of that. But not in this case. Listen to how much their drummer, Max Meislish, is doing for the chorus of this song. It makes Mayans feel so rich in texture and spice. The chorus is what hooked me into Mayans, both because of the fun drum participation and the droning call of Mayans swaying in and out during that. And in my head, I kind of shout alongside the singers, but can you blame me? It's a really good chorus. Of course, I couldn't just ignore the guitars here on this song. The first beginning strums for Mayans really brought me in to listening all the way through when it first fell through into my Spotify. But it also finishes very cleanly for this song. It's a different sound, surely, from the beginning, but still awesome. I appreciate the way that Max Kilijansky, their guitarist, plays a little softer for the song Mayans. This song still manages to be upbeat, but doesn't have to be hyperactive to do that. While I'm certainly not about to take back all I just said about the percussion especially being the star to Mayans, I cannot just ignore how fun and detailed the lyrics are. It's a colorful telling of our narrator asking out a girl at this club or party, it sounds like. He's there with his older brother encouraging to talk to the girl, since it seems they aren't in the area for long, rather on some road trip. The setting is so specific and well thought out, something I'm not really used to for music, since I think a lot of stories in today's songs are a little more abstract. Though I feel like I'm about to contradict myself saying this, because the lyrics themselves are very abstract, or at least surround the story of Mayans in an abstract way. Like the last episode of Morning Jam, the one I had just put up, talking about Kombucha by Winnetka Bowling League, Mayans has some very odd, special little lines that if you read, or especially hear sung by the talented Mark Pierce, are little bits of word candy you get to enjoy. My favorite lines, besides the chanting Mayans to the chorus, are Big Brothers, what do they know? Legoland and San Diego. And it's not late, no, it's Manhattan. Very short little pieces that kind of resonate with me. I want to talk a little bit more about the band because I find it incredibly impressive that at least 3 out of the 4 of them are from the Berklee College of Music in Boston. That is incredibly impressive, so shout out. One of them, their bassist, Dominic Canarella Anderson, even worked on the music department for the movie Daddy's Home 2. Being credited in a movie's production cast is no joke. That is crazy cool. So again, props must be given where props are due. The guy who leads it all, singer Mark Pierce, who I had just mentioned earlier, is very genuine and sweet too. And I just got to really experience that very recently. Lately, a bunch of bands have been doing live concerts over YouTube videos or especially Instagram stories, and Mark happened to go on a specific Instagram page live for a radio station, WSBF-FM of Clemson University. I happen to work at a college radio station featuring the same style of sound as WSBF here in the Carolinas, and I feel it would be criminal to not support something so similar to my own station, hence why I checked out their live stream. And of course, to see this song live. On the stream, Mark did a little solo set of the band's work. I even got some screenshots of the performance. So it was awesome to experience. Mayans was really nice to hear in a different style because it was played solo. And one thing I can commend Mark on is that his voice on the recorded version of this song and the whole Zoobookz EP seems 100% untouched. The man naturally has a very comforting singing voice, and it's able to be featured spectacularly on this song. It's too late. I listened to the whole Zoobookz EP with no stops, and I couldn't help but really connect to the work on here. I just took a road trip through the southeast for spring break last March because I love traveling. And Mayans obviously features some American locations, even telling the story through a moment of a road trip for the narrator himself. But having the track Knoxville featured first really connected with me, specifically because Knoxville was the first stop on that road trip. Nashville's also mentioned in that song, which was the second and most crazy stop for that trip, so I was like, what are all these coincidences doing here? The EP as a whole has a very complete sound to it, especially with those two leading tracks, Knoxville and Mayans. Zoobookz reminds me a lot of a band I featured a decently long time ago on this show, One South Lark, but here Zoobookz has a little bit more activity in their music. On the flip side, Zoobookz has a similar but calmer sound to a band I've listened to a few times now, known as Mom Rock. So if you are a fan of either one of those bands, I'd seriously say check these guys out, you will not be disappointed. I'm very happy I got to share this song on this show. It's a fun experience to listen to by yourself. I would heavily suggest doing that if you've made it all the way to the end here. Also, let me know how you feel about the song. Nothing but good things to say about it if you ask me, but you just listened to a whole episode of me talking about it. If you want to check out any of the social media for this band, of course, that's in the description. My own social media is in the description below as well. And one last treat, if you're wanting to listen to all of the songs that have been featured on this show so far, it's all in a playlist, also found in the description. I'm Peter Cooper, and this was your Morning Jam.